So, give me a second. Got to make sure that I share this with everybody. Finally. This live stuff is new. Seems like I mess it up every time. But before I get talking much more, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Sorry for all those mess ups. Let me know if you can hear me. I am going to start this over. Oh, audio's good? Is it low? Is it high? Yeah, where we at? We good. All right, so bear with me, appreciate the patience. I'm still getting used to how to do this YouTube live thing, and I have messed up pretty much every single time that I have gone to do it. Audio is great. See, I appreciate it. I told you guys, the audio is as important to me too. But sometimes my equipment don't work right. I had to throw out the old one. I got a new microphone here, so I'm glad that you guys can hear me well. So last time I went live, I ended up talking the whole first 20 minutes, whatever, and I only want to talk for like 15 minutes. But the question that I want to pose to everybody that's out there watching, two things. The video is frozen. So is my internet not good? Tell me if my internet not good. I need to get this together. Am I frozen? Is my video quality okay? Talk to me. It's working now. You were doing a great job. I seen the Rivera presser. Nah, he didn't seem to like my social media question. I could have asked it a little differently, but sorry for all the clear in my throat. You know, sometimes you don't ask the question as cleanly as you want to, but hey, we always live and learn and try again. But he did say that it depends on what a guy does, that, you know, it could result in some consequences. But I think he just didn't like the fact that I wasn't specific enough. And I'll take that as far as Rivera not liking my social media question. So Shaq asked if I saw CJ Anderson's tweet. I did see it. My voice carries. I got a lot, man. Yeah, that was me talking to Rivera. You won't see me in there the rest of this week just because I got so many other things to do. But like I say, man, look, I mean this. I mean this 100%. I'm funded by the fans. I created this site saying I want to be the most engaging media to the fans. So if you're watching, new or old, if you have a question, I can promise you I will try to get an answer for you. So subscribe to the channel, tell a friend about the channel, turn on your notifications. All right, so let's talk about the Carolina Panthers. They have this week signed, let's go in order. They released CJ Anderson. After releasing CJ Anderson, they signed Travaris Cadet. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. I hadn't heard it officially for the team. Haven't seen the phonetic spelling yet. But they signed Travaris Cadet. And at the time that they made that signing, I was like, Rivera had talked about not CJ Anderson. Their names are so similar, man. At the time that they made the Travaris Cadet signing, Rivera was like, this is a chance for Cameron Artis-Payne to get some reps. I've been suspicious because I don't feel like they do. And if you watch the press conference like my man did, you will know that I also asked Rivera, well, what's the difference in Cameron Artis-Payne and CJ Anderson? And he was like, yeah, they were pretty similar. So I'm going to wrap this up so I can get to y'all's questions. So basically, I haven't been buying that this means more opportunities for Cameron Artis-Payne. So then they signed Travaris Cadet, and I'm like, yeah, that seems more like a cover and a backup for Christian McCaffrey. This is why I don't like guys with initials. You got CMC, you got CJ Anderson, you got Cap, and it's throwing me off as I talk about all these running backs. But Travaris Cadet seemed like he would be more likely to be a backup to Christian McCaffrey. So then today, this evening, tonight, we sign again Kenjon Barner, which I got to feel sorry for this guy more so than I feel sorry for Cameron Artis-Payne, because Kenjon Barner has played for like the same 4 teams like a dozen times. I think the New England Patriots picked him up and dropped him at least 3 times this 2018 season. So when they picked up Kenjon, I'm like, yeah, there's no reps for Cameron Artis-Payne. To me, North Turner is clearly wanting backs that are slower, that are shifty, that can catch out of the backfield and like scat all around. So this again tells me that Cameron Artis-Payne isn't going to get any more play. Because why would you sign Kenjon Barner? What is he going to give you that you wasn't already having? I'll tell you what he's going to give you. He's going to give you another dynamic running back to do all these trick plays and gadget stuff and jet sweeps and stuff. So anyway, that's all my rambling. I'm going to read you guys' comments and interact. So let me scroll from the front to the back. Stop getting players sick. Yeah, James Bradbury got sick, right? That was crazy. It was like I just saw this dude, but I ain't had nothing to do with that. CJ Anderson probably, nah, I've got the death wheel. Audio's good. Pitch perfect. It's working now, Chris. I'm just getting up to date on these comments. If you guys are watching live, it's working now. You've been doing a great job. Video's good. You're still streaming just fine. Chris, yeah, so I was like, oh yeah. I'm almost up to date. Looks like Denver also got rid of CJ Anderson. That like him present. I don't know how to say his name. I just call him Cadet. Yeah, candidate, just call him Candidate. That's what I've been calling him. Why do you think we didn't try to trade CJ Anderson at the deadline instead of just cutting him? You know, they might have not made up their decision at that point that they wanted to get rid of him. They might have just been thinking about what they would do with CJ. And at this point, CJ Anderson is still a free agent, if I'm correct. I'm going to do a super quick Google here. And yeah, CJ Anderson is still free. I think Rivera been lying a lot lately, especially with his answers to the Eric Washington performance. He didn't seem to like none of my questions. That's why I had to keep going until I got a question that Rivera seemed to be okay with. When I did ask him about Eric Washington, and I wasn't asking to insinuate that he should be getting rid of him. I just want to know what he was thinking at this point. And he seemed to not like it, but he said that he really goes to evaluate that at the end of the year. So just to give my 2 cents, I don't think Eric Washington's job should be in any kind of jeopardy whatsoever. They're 6-3. CJ tweet has something to do with his release, plus maybe he didn't get along in the locker room. I'm not in that locker room every day, but as far as I can tell, CJ Anderson, well, I mean, I don't get that. He could surprisingly be, but let me keep going through these comments. Luke Miller, probably no team wanted CJ Anderson. Yeah, it doesn't seem like they did. So is it going to be McCaffrey, Cadet, Barner in that order of playing time? I think it's going to be whichever one is in better shape. I know Barner has been off. He's been playing kind of all year. I don't know the last time Travaris played. So I almost feel like it would be Barner, it would be Christian McCaffrey, Barner, Cadet, and Cameron Artis-Payne is still going to be inactive. Yeah, I mean, he might be active this week just because Cadet and Barner isn't up to speed, but Barner, he's somewhat familiar with the playbook. Yeah, I just wouldn't trust it if I was Cameron Artis-Payne. I don't feel like there's going to be anything for him. What's your take on D-line? No, not producing the way we are used to. So yeah, the D-line isn't producing the way that we're used to, but I feel like they're still being effective. You know, we get spoiled with having this D-line as like the sacks stand out, right? Getting the sacks, and we're not getting the sacks. Mario Addison's getting sacks. I think he has 7.5 right now, but I think they're doing enough. And, you know, changes could be made, but I don't think we need to make anything big to that. And hopefully these guys will just continue to plug away and get to rolling and getting us some more sacks that we get excited about coming up. Also, what's wrong with Luke? He looks a little tentative this season, perhaps avoiding injury, or maybe he's playing hurt and nobody's addressing it. What's my take on Luke Kuechly? I don't have any thoughts on that right now. You know, Luke is as competitive as ever. You still see him with these crazy expressions after a tackle and cheering on his teammates. He's definitely an all-pro. You don't see the same things that you saw at the super high level as previous, but I think Luke is still playing at a very, very high level. Hey, and I want everybody to get involved in this conversation. I appreciate my man Shaq. I appreciate Toe Gang. But I want to talk to everybody, okay? So, Lewis James, all right. Let's see. How did the Patriots... I'm trying to see your comment, but my screen is kind of acting up. Oh, how did Pat Coltrane do? Pat was entertaining, man. You know, I try to have people on to just continue to be dynamic and different because I can do that. I own the media. I don't have to go by all these rules that I think some of these other companies have to go by. Pat was cool, man. A lot of fun. I see Luke late on a lot of plays and not going full speed. I remember the play during the Cowboys. Do you think he's ended? No, I don't think so. But look, I just want to, I only got about 5 more minutes. I want you guys to talk about specifically the 2 acquisitions of Travaris Cadet and Kenjon Barner. What do you think of it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you think that it means that Cameron Artis-Payne is going to get some more reps? Do you even like Cameron Artis-Payne? It's going to be a bounce back game, but don't want to get hyped and find out we get punched in the mouth. Do you think Luke is playing hurt? Look, I haven't seen any indications of Luke playing hurt. You guys are going to make me talk about all these other topics, aren't you? Which I guess you kind of can because I said I work for you all. How was C.J. Anderson's contract structured? Don't know what all you mean about that, Lewis. I know it was a 1-year deal. I like Barner, but with Cam controlling a run game, I think we could have used that roster spot on somewhere else, maybe a pass rusher. Thank you. I like that comment. And even if I don't like your comment, I like you giving comments. His release, I'm going to come back to that because I know I can scroll up. Yeah, I think it's real strange when you have, I won't say have so many needs, but you have 22 positions, so you have needs in certain places. I find it real odd that after week 10, or on week 10, you release a running back and you gain 2 more running backs. So why did you feel the need to gain 2 more running backs? Perhaps they're feeling like they need to be even more dynamic. They need more of these guys that are shifty, fast, quick. We need guys that's going to run between the tackles too much because Christian McCaffrey can. And the way that we can run DJ Moore and Curtis Samuels, we can be creative to have those guys running the rock as well. So I feel like they're just really trying to stack up on that running back so they can be dynamic with the offense. And you got to admit, it's been pretty dynamic, pretty interesting. I'm getting hungry, guys, so I'm going to be on for about 3 more minutes, maybe. All right, Zay Burrell. This is a good move because we only got 2 running backs active plus Arma. No, we've had Christian McCaffrey, C.J. Anderson, Cameron Artis-Payne, and Alex Arma. We've had those 4 all season. So we lost C.J. Anderson. We put Cadet in there. And then we add a 5th guy with Barner. So now we got Christian McCaffrey, Cameron Artis-Payne, Travaris Cadet, Kenjon Barner, Alex Arma. So we actually have more running backs now. Go back and read some of these comments. Cap isn't in football shape. I wouldn't disagree with you there, Zay, that Cameron Artis-Payne isn't in the best shape because he just hadn't been playing games, but he still is in decent shape. He's not like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Cadet has played for a team in a minute. Like, I know he was on a team this year, but I don't think, like, he was on a team last week or 2 weeks ago. So I would think that Cameron Artis-Payne is in better shape than Cadet is. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. Well, Rivera made comments about how in San Diego they had Turner, Sproles, and Tolbert. Yeah, but we got 5 guys. Matt Hurney is like running back to an X doesn't normally work. Yeah, I mean, he was just here. He's not working well. Armand's the man. All right, Neek 22 chiming in here. I think that is a division spot for upcoming Saints games. Barner is more of a backfield. My son is cooking. I think he's about to burn the house down. If I start coughing, that's why. Barner is more of a backfield pass relief for Christian, whereas Cap is more of a... Yeah, that's my point. Like, I feel like these 2 new guys fit what Turner wants in terms of that type of running back. And I don't feel like Cameron Artis-Payne is going to fit more into this offense than C.J. Anderson did. So I feel like Cameron Artis-Payne is just going to still sit on the bench and probably wishes that he was waived. If I'm not mistaken, Kenjon Barner is similar to Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, I mean, he'll go down a little quicker. He won't stand up as much, but I would say all 3 of these guys are now pretty similar in their style. You don't have the downhill back would be Cameron Artis-Payne. I don't get to signing when we meet at better pass blocking running back. Yeah, that's a good one to think about, a pass blocking running back. But I would just say the Panthers feeling like they need a pass blocking running back, I would say they don't believe that they need it, because if they did, then C.J. Anderson would have had more reps than he did before he left. And if they felt like C.J. Anderson wasn't doing it, then Cameron Artis-Payne. So just based on what the team is doing right now, I would say they're comfortable without having like a bona fide stud running back that could pass block, because they're trying to get rid of the ball quick. And they're doing all these misdirections and things to kind of keep you on your heels. So the number of times that they would need a pass blocking running back is low because of the style that they play. It's my thoughts on that. Definitely need more fullback play. I wouldn't be mad at that. Well, hopefully all those running backs, we can run up the score. Yeah, I don't think we've had a problem running up the score. Our defense has been a problem on that point. You know, if we didn't get behind like we did against Pittsburgh, I think we could have seen a possible shootout, but we got behind so big where the teams just know what you have to do, and they can really stack it up against you because they know you have to just go all out. You got to do these passes. And we couldn't block them at all. And yeah, that's where you would have needed a running back that could block. But if we played our style of football, if we play like we should, we're not going to be behind like that to always need a running back that's blocking. Yeah, Cadet didn't get playing time. That was the one time that the Buffalo Bills helped us out and gave us a guy. He released by the Panthers. North Chris. Not sure what you're saying there, Shaq. Could be saying something right, but I just don't follow you. So was Cadet just to get the Saints playbook? A playbook is useful. Excuse me. We all know Steve Smith recently said something about giving away the Panthers playbook. But I feel like, number one, he doesn't have the playbook physically. So we're not going to get everything. He also played for the Saints like 2 years ago. He didn't play for the current Saints. And I feel like the current Saints just do some different stuff. So, I mean, he could offer some help, but I don't feel like it was worth this kind of move to get him. But, I mean, there could be something to it because obviously the Saints, and you guys get to see how my brain works, right? Obviously the Saints are going to be our biggest hurdle, by far. They're just running away with the division and the conference, right? And you know you got to play them twice later on in the season. But here's my thoughts, right? If you needed him for the Saints, just mainly for the Saints, I was going to say put him on a practice. Like they could have signed him to the practice squad. He wasn't active on any team. So if he's not active, you could have signed him to the practice squad, release one of your other practice squad guys and use him just to get his intel. So I think it's a little bit more than what he could offer for the Saints. I think they're looking at that a little bit, but I don't feel like that's the predominant reason. Matt Khalil is not going to be activated this week. In the future, I think they're going to really take their time with Matt Khalil being activated. Are you going to be watching the game on Sunday at the sports bar? No, I'll be watching the game this Sunday. Unfortunately, this is the first trip that I'm not making this season. I will be watching the game from the house. I will be tweeting about it and giving you guys updates. I've been thinking about having a player call in after the game to be a part of my post-game show, but I'm also thinking I might just take the opportunity to do a different kind of live broadcast post-game like I'm doing right now instead of having a player call in. You guys can give me your take. Would you prefer me just go live after the game and interact with you all, or would you prefer me just give you the normal recorded video, have a player call in? I thought about maybe having Devin Funches call in, but let me know. Leave your comments below if you're watching the rebroadcast. And I'm going to run through these questions and go eat. Leave your comments if I didn't get to them. I will sign back on later tonight. And I really appreciate everybody that has been signing on and interacting with me because I work for you guys. I got to say you all. My mouth's getting dry. I'm telling you, my son's burning up the kitchen. All right, let me go through these. As long as we beat the Saints, yeah, that's a big as long as we do. Maybe we're going to do more tomorrow. Maybe we're going to do more two-back sets and rotate. I don't think so. Not that that's a bad idea, but I just don't see that happen. Our defense hasn't stopped anyone all year. That scares me. Our defense has played good. They're not as consistent and dominant as they were in that Super Bowl season. But our defense, I mean, they shut out Philadelphia so that the offense can score their 21 points and win that game. So they've been doing good. They just haven't been like as top tier. Our defense hasn't stopped anyone. Pat Coltrane just gave you a shout out. Hey, Pat's my man. I mean, a lot of you guys are my man, my ladies. I don't know if I have many ladies on here. I need more lady followers. Shaq is my man. What was it, the CP3 podcast? Those people are cool. A lot of people out there that are pretty cool. For the first half of the season, Cam has done a lot of short game passes, but I think it's time we take shots down the field. What do you think? I don't think it's going to happen. I like the idea, but I don't think it's going to happen too much. No ability for super chats. I don't know what a super chat is, so let me know. Yeah, Kiara hasn't left. She's my home game co-host, so we just haven't been home in a minute. So that's why it seems like she's gone, but she's here and alive. All right, Shaq, vote for going live. Turning on my post notifications now. Appreciate you, Toe Gang, man. What's your name, Toe Gang? We need a new coach. Totally disagree. Had Dante Jackson to call. I thought about Dante Jackson to call in, but he's going to be on a show later this season, so I don't want to ask him to do too much. And everybody's always in Dante's locker after game because he does, you know, he is fun to talk to. I watch all your work, every single video. Appreciate it. C3 gang, our defense is good. All right, so again, I'm going to wrap up. Leave your comments below. Turn on the bell notification. So subscribe, turn on the bell notification. That way, as I go live, you all will be able to interact. And if I get enough people that start coming on live, I have interviews with all the rookies lined up. So, you know, going through Marquise Haynes, Ian Thomas. Next up is Rashawn Golden. Next up will be Dante Jackson. Last will be DJ Moore. I might go live and let you guys ask them questions directly, but I gotta have a lot of people that are signing on and watching. So that's something to consider. But thanks much. Have a good night. Let's go Panthers.